On this episode, we're going to take a look at the St. Dupont 150th Anniversary Hotel Particulier lighter.
Nice.
All right. Ray, what beautiful treasures do you have for us today?
Well, we were lucky enough to pick up a 150th Anniversary Edition Line 2 lighter from St. Dupont. This one, I have no idea how to pronounce it appropriately.
Hotel Particulier.
Hotel Particulier.
Hotel.
Hotel. But this lighter comes in this beautiful box right here. And it was created in celebration of St. Dupont's 150th anniversary. All right, we'll use our close-up again.
Apparently on the label, on the box, it is number 24 out of 150.
Yeah, so in celebration for their 150th anniversary, each lighter is marked. And we'll show it up on the close-up right here. So on the back, they only made 150 of these, and this is number 24. So, cool thing about this lighter is it was designed to celebrate the 150th anniversary. So the lighter itself is a replica of their first boutique. So it's really cool. It's like back in time. But this one, so if you look, for example, this one actually has their address inscribed on the back of the lighter. 8 Bis Rue Dieu, Paris. So that was their address. And then in the front of the lighter, I'm going to butcher this name too, but it says St. Dupont Metalier.
Let me see.
Metalier? Metalier. Apparently, if it's T-I-E-R, you're supposed to pronounce it yay.
Metalier.
Metalier. But it translates pretty much into trunk maker in French. And that's how St. Dupont started off. If you guys saw our first video, we'll put a link in the description below. You knew that Simon Tisse Dupont, he actually started off as a trunk maker. Actually, even before that, he got into trunk making. He was like a photographer for King Alexander and all that. But St. Dupont didn't start out in lighters. So they happened to just get into it. Because, you know, the Maharaja of India in like the 1940s came to St. Dupont. So apparently this dude had like over 100 wives or something like that. And he wanted a custom bag created for each single one of his wives. And he wanted like a special accoutrement in each one of those bags. And he wanted a lighter. And he wanted one made out of gold. Which is crazy. No one did that. So St. Dupont, all their artisans, they had to get real creative. They were like,
So what is this one made out of?
So this one particularly is made... It's made out of platinum, silver, and gold. And it's really cool because now their first lighter, a lot of it still carries over into the lighters today. So this one that you see here is one of their most famous lighter models of all time. It's called the Line 2. If you're in Europe, it's called like the Ligne 2. But if you open it and flick it, bring it to our close-up. And then make the roller also other way. Cool. You'll notice that it has 2 flames. And that ping sound that Ho just demoed and these 2 flames are what makes the Line 2 a Line 2. That perfect cling and the 2 flames when you roll it. So when they first started off in the 1940s, trying to get these lighters made for the Maharaja's like 100 plus wives, all the artisans got together in this boutique that you see on the lighter itself. And then they figured out but the dude wanted it made out of gold. They're like, all right, well, gold's really soft. It's not going to work. The lighter's eventually going to like break over time. So it's not going to be actually a timepiece. It's going to be like a temporary piece. So they got together, played around with a bunch of metals, and they found that brass was much more stronger. It could get plated with other metals really well and all that, and you can like precision cut it. And they created their first lighter. So they got a brass block, they plated it in gold, and they gave it to the Maharaja's wife. And then back then, the lighters were actually made, or they were powered by actual like fluid fuel. So they weren't actually like gas, like we see all the lighters today.
Does this use any special gas or particular lighter fluid?
So you're supposed to use ST Dupont gas. That's what they recommend. Because when you open the nozzle or the gas container, you'll notice that it has a very specific nozzle, and each ST Dupont fluid, which is supposed to be super refined, they recommend using that. And when you get the gas containers, you'll notice that they all have a color code to it. And each color code pretty much has a different nozzle tip that fits to a particular lighter model. So this one, I believe, uses the red color fuel. And then we'll put in some B-rolls of it, but then it's because that tip will fit into this nozzle to power up the lighter. But yeah, ST Dupont didn't get into actual gas until the 1950s. And then what makes it even more crazy is they made their first lighter during like the World War, like 1940s. And then they just kept innovating since then.
I feel like we glazed over that satisfying opening ping.
Yes.
We did the other video on the Legrand Cling, and this has a very similar musical note.
Yeah.
It's got a different note, but it's still pretty
It does, yeah. So let me pull out one of the the Legrands that we reviewed. So here's the Legrand Cling in gold. So if you actually like them together, which is funny, they all have a very specific note. So let me bring it to a close up. So when you light it, Legrand Cling.
Nice.
But then when you do it together, it's like, wait, hold up. Whoops. So they almost make like the Jaws theme music, which is pretty funny. But yeah, that's what makes them so popular.
This also has a bit of heft and weight to it.
It does.
Do you know how much this weighs?
I do not. Let's bring it to our scale.
About 5 ounces, 5.7 ounces.
5.7 ounces.
What's that in freedom units? It's 163 grams.
Okay.
That's not a freedom unit.
All right. So let's see how it compares to a traditional line 2. So we have there. So this one, it has no gold plating, but this one is just brass with the lacquer. So let's see how this weighs.
133 grams versus 162.
Okay. It's a whole 30 grams lighter. But yeah, they want to make sure that they went all out on this lighter. And then it's really cool because it's 150 years of know-how, and then they actually celebrated it in like 2022. We should have done a review on this sooner. My bad, but nice.
Ray, I know the Legrand Cling was one of their higher end ones. This is also feels like a really high end one.
Yes.
What are we running for this?
That one, I think edition? It was like $4,000 or $4,500, which sucks. So the Line 2 used to be their flagship model, and then they recently released the Legrand a couple years ago. But yeah, the Line 2 is it's a classic. And then it fits into your jean lighter pocket perfectly. So does the Legrand. Yeah, I'm 6'3", 6'4", but yeah. And I'm not the one to not use collectible items or stuff like that. So I use and abuse my lighters, and it's hella great.
Any other historical nuggets in history of this Hotel Particulier?
I think cool thing is that on top of showcasing their first boutique, they're also showcasing their metalwork because it's initially covered in a layer of platinum, and then that model of the first boutique is actually silver, molded in silver, and then plated with gold. I think it's really cool. They're kind of like flexing kind of their know-how, and also the designs on the cap itself. It's called a micro diamond head. So ST Dupont's known for like their diamond head design. With this one, we have a multiple diamond head on this one. This particular pattern is called a diamond head, but it looks like a bunch of heads of diamonds. But yeah, that's something that they're known for. So, thanks for joining us, y'all, for this video on the ST Dupont 150th anniversary Line 2 lighter Hotel Particulier. Yeah, it's a cool piece. They only made 150. This one is a little bit pricey, but if you guys want just like a normal production Line 2, you can find one for like $1,000 to $1,200. So they're a bit more affordable, but they last your lifetime. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions.
Thanks for sharing with us, Ray.
Yeah. Ray and Ho out!